Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. So in this reading, I am going to be channeling some messages from what I feel is a masculine energy, although do keep in mind these masculine and feminine labels do apply to energy dynamics, not necessarily to a particular gender. But I'm feeling that there is a specific masculine who is intensely afraid, I wanted to say terrified, of losing a feminine here. Every time I think about it, I keep wanting to tear up, and all I can think is, I don't want you to be a stranger. I feel like that is what he is saying over and over again, regardless of the level of communication between the two of you, whether you are in constant communication, whether you are in separation and haven't communicated in months or years. It really doesn't matter, because this masculine feels such a profound connection to you that he is so scared of letting you slip away. And I'm just going to let the cards give us a few starting messages before I get too deeply into it. I feel like I could go on and on, because there is just wave after wave of intense energy coming from this masculine, longing, in some cases missing you. But the strange thing is, even if you are communicating, they miss you almost in preparation for feeling as though they're going to lose you. I'm not sure why that energy is coming through. It's like there's something causing them to either feel as though you're slipping away or like they're going to lose you. Now, in some cases, I feel this could be because if you are in communication, this may be a relatively new connection, so there might be a lot of unknowns here, a lot that is being figured out, getting into a rhythm of things. I feel like this could be someone that you've recently met or connected with, and potentially because of that, you haven't yet really settled into a rhythm of consistent communication. And I feel this is causing this masculine some anxiety, because there is this feeling of, walking away reversed. I can't lose you. And actually what I heard is, I only just found you. I can't lose you again. I feel as though you and this masculine absolutely have some kind of past life connection. Now, as far as what form of soul connection this is, I will let you know what comes up in the cards later for that. But at the end of the day, only you can know for sure. But I will say that you have absolutely lived at least one past life together. And in this past life, this masculine did lose you in some sense. I actually feel that you may have passed away before he did in this past life. Appreciation uprights. There's this feeling of, in this past life situation, for whoever this is for, and this might just be for a select group of people, I feel like there was some situation where this masculine felt like he had lost you forever, and it was devastating to him. And it's so over dramatic in a sense. It's very sentimental and kind of sappy. But I feel that in this past life, this masculine, when he transitioned into spirit form, one of the last things he told himself is, I have to remember her. I have to come find her the next time around. And so that's why your souls made this contract to find one another again in this life. And that is why there was this instant sense of recognition, but also this lingering fear, this lingering sadness. It comes from the history your souls have together, a history of sometimes losing one another and knowing how painful that feels, having the unconscious memory of that. I feel this masculine struggling to grasp this, but because of course everything we've been talking about is very deeply spiritual, unconscious, energetic. It's not something that he consciously recognizes. What he feels consciously is just this intense fear of letting you, feminine, slip away, this feeling of I can't let you slip away. And yet there is this confusion of how something so new could feel as though it's moving so quickly, could feel so intense. How can someone who is, you know what I'm getting? It's like two souls who are saying to each other, don't be a stranger. And yet by earthly human terms, they practically are strangers. And that's the confusing thing here that I feel each of them is trying to grapple with, this knowing that they share such a profound history at the soul level, and yet they barely know each other in this one physical life, which is causing each of them to feel a bit crazy and confused. And I feel that that confused energy is actually amplifying some of the anxiety here, because it's as though the person that you're dealing with feels like a best friend or someone you've been with for decades, and yet when you look at the span of the connection or relationship in physical human terms, it seems so relatively short by comparison that it brings up a lot of fear, because your human self is like, well, of course you could lose this person because you don't have the pattern, you don't have the examples from this life of you and this person consistently connecting over the course of weeks or years or decades, even though it feels that way at the soul level. So from a human perspective, you have no evidence that this person is going to stay in your life. But at the soul level, you know that you desperately want them to, that you desperately want them to stay. How can I know someone so well and yet not really know them at all, is what's coming out here. Contract in the upright position. Interesting. So I'm going to read a little bit from the guidebook for this card here. By the way, I said this at the beginning, but this is such a hyper emotional energy coming through here as well. Like I just keep getting the urge to cry while I'm channeling this energy. This card shows a contract in the background ready to be signed, indicating a committed connection of some sort. Those words, committed connection, really stood out to me, because what I'm feeling is this sense that at the soul level, this connection feels like a commitment. It feels like being in it together, and yet at the earthly, human, physical level, to other people, this looks like a fling, or it looks like a relatively shallow connection. So now there is this extreme confusion of how there can be so much depth there emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and yet by human terms, almost no depth at all. Yeah, and because of this, with Healer of the Ages reversed, one of the first cards to come out, it says, someone's been feeling extremely out of sorts or upside down in their own life. And I feel that speaks to the fact that this, I hear a masculine saying like, this is messing me up. And I don't even know why it's messing me up. Not that it's having a negative impact on his life, but more so the opposite, that the very little time he spent with you, feminine, has had such a profound impact. And really, I wanted to say imprint. It's left an imprint on his life that he knows he's not going to be able to forget. So now there is this anxiety there of, what do we do about this? That's kind of the question that is hanging in the air here. I also feel there's something about the circumstances between the two of you that's causing this masculine anxiety as well. But as I'm shuffling for that, I also want to say that if you are a feminine listening, resonating with this, I feel that you are energetically picking up on this masculine's anxiety about this. And I also feel that the things between the two of you might seem like they're moving so quickly. So if you're in communication, texting, calling, seeing each other, it might feel like you just can't get enough of each other, like you have to be talking, or you want to be talking all the time, or seeing each other all the time. But the reason for this urgency again is because the souls here are trying to make the closeness, trying to bridge the gap between the closeness their souls have felt since they laid eyes on each other, and the gap between that and how really their lack of closeness by physical human terms. Like there is the desire to just rush things ahead. And I feel they're both feeling that, which simultaneously is scary and exciting. This connection has the sense of moving very fast, and both people having a tendency to overthink it or overanalyze it just because it is moving so quickly and bringing up so many emotions all at once. There is this feeling with strategy reversed and the temple path reversed of having no idea where this is going, where this is leading, having no plan. I hear someone saying, let's just figure it out as we go. And that's kind of the mindset here. But at the same time, there is so much fear coming up because the fear is equivalent. The fear of losing the other person here is equivalent to the amounts of love and connectedness that they feel to this person. In fact, I feel them saying like, it just feels like you are my person. Interesting. So yeah, broken hearts in the upright position. Someone is, I wanted to say preparing themselves for getting their heart broken or feeling as though it's like this energy of bracing yourself. I feel someone bracing themselves thinking there's no way that this can turn out well because there's something about the circumstances here between these two souls that feels really challenging or even impossible. And it's like bracing yourself for the, well, I would say for the fall, but you've already fallen. It's like bracing yourself for when you hit the ground. That's kind of the energy I'm getting. But doing that while you're still in the middle of this free fall, not really knowing when it's going to stop, not really wanting it to stop. Why is someone here so afraid of getting their heart broken? Second chakra in the reverse position. I feel that someone here may have opened up more than they intended to, or simply felt more connected to you than they meant to feel connected to a person. There is this energy of, I wasn't looking for anything serious. I wasn't looking to feel this way. I feel that one or both people in this situation may have been looking to casually date or meet people or connect with people when they somehow stumbled on each other. And there was this feeling of trying to resist it because one or the other, or maybe both, weren't looking for something serious. But then because of the depth of this connection, this other person naturally pulled out of them all of these feelings, this overwhelming emotional intensity that caused them to open up in ways that they didn't even mean to open up. And this person may even be feeling regret, like I feel like I'm always oversharing or saying too much or feeling too much for you. And yet there's no resisting it. There's no stopping it. What else is going on here? Let's get some information on the circumstances here. So what is it about the circumstances that makes this so difficult? The words Europe and golden came out here. Also the word poor. So there could be financial differences between the two of you, class differences, if that's relevant in your culture. With the words poor and golden, though, both coming out, I see this could also be metaphoric. Like metaphorically, this person perceives you, feminine, to be like this golden prize, like being first prize. And it's almost like they feel as though they are unable to afford you in the metaphoric sense. Like they can't give you enough to make this connection worth it for you, and yet they want you so desperately to stick around. And all of this is really, really secretive, really hidden. I don't feel this has been said. With playfulness, I feel that you and this person share a really intense bond when it comes to your sense of humor. I feel like you just get each other. And a lot of your connections in the physical 3D world may be very playful, very kind of spontaneous in the moment. And yet, once again, this is such a contrast to the depth that your souls are feeling, because with engagements, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. I feel that it's like at the soul level, you feel this intense commitment quite literally to one another. But at the outer level, at the 3D level, there is this lightness, this playfulness, this flirtatiousness. And then there's this gap between how your souls feel about one another and how you interact most of the time at this kind of shallow surface level. And there is this shared awareness that there is so much depth there that hasn't yet been discussed in words. And because it hasn't been fully put into words or verbalized, there's always this fear of, is what I'm feeling truly mutual? Does this other person feel about me in the way that I feel for them? Silence in the upright position. I feel that whenever there's a silence or a gap in your conversations or in your talking, I feel that this could lead both of you to really overthink that silence, because it sounds so loud when your souls at a deeper level always seem to be connected and communicating on this different plane, this different level. Yeah, you know me already came out from the shoebox messages. I feel there's this sense of shared knowingness that causes each person here to feel a bit delusional. There is this feeling of, how do we know each other? Like, have we met before? Conversation. I feel that this could be someone that you're connecting with long distance. I feel that if not that, then this is someone that most of your interactions have been through words or conversation, not so much through... You might not be physically involved with this person yet, but again, take this as it resonates. Or again, there could just be some separation or distance between you. But I feel that this person is really hyper aware of the gaps in conversation, which leads me to think that you and this person most likely are in ongoing conversation or communication. So most likely, even if you're separated, this is someone that you talk to very frequently, because this person is really overthinking not just the things you say, but the things that you don't say. And the harder that they try not to overthink it, the more that they do. But I do feel this actually goes both directions. So what else is going on with this masculine? What else does this masculine want to say here? As I'm shuffling the cards to pull these final love messages, I do want to share with you that in addition to these readings, I do create subliminal meditations. And subliminals are powerful sound therapy tools that you can use to deeply reprogram your own subconscious minds, shift your energy, and quite literally magnetize yourself for your desires in life through the portal of these subconscious mind. Because as we know, 95% of our thoughts and therefore our outcomes, what we manifest into our lives, is unconscious. And subliminals are one of the fastest ways to reprogram the subconscious mind. So specifically, if you are resonating with this reading, because I feel this is a very high vibrational soul connection, whether it's a soulmate or a twin flame situation, I do really recommend my twin flame 7 chakra clearing subliminal. And the reason for this is, regardless of whether you are aware of this person being a twin flame or not, this subliminal is designed to clear out any blockages you or your person might be holding to unconditional love. And this allows you to connect more closely with one another energetically. And of course, once you clear those energy blocks between you, the physical manifestations of the connection happen effortlessly, naturally, magnetically, but it all has to start energetically. So the link to this twin flame 7 chakra clearing is in the pinned comments and description box. And this subliminal comes from my website, soundandsoulful.com. So as you can see on the screen, on this website, I've created over 100 subliminals for all areas of life. So I have subliminals for physical appearance changes, for mood shifts like confidence and happiness, for love and relationships, and for so much more. And you can try out any of these subliminals completely free for 7 days by creating a free trial account on my website. And again, all of that is linked in the pinned comments and description box under the video. And of course, from the Twin Flames and Separation deck, I'm trying to move on, but thoughts of you still linger and I can't control them. So there's this feeling of things moving very quickly and each person here being aware that there could be these obstacles. Again, it could be physical distance, it could be some kind of perceived incompatibility or just uncertainty or fear of the intensity causing one or the other to try to move on. But the thing is, they are magnetically pulled back together again and again energetically. So even when they're apart, there is this feeling of constantly having your thoughts returning to this other person without really fully being able to understand why. Because once again, the connection we're channeling in this reading does appear to be relatively new and therefore should be shallow by physical human terms, and yet carries this inexplicable depth to it. Let's see if we can get one more card here from the Hidden Truth Oracle deck. So what is one final message for whoever is listening to this reading? I left before you could leave me, and you speak to me through music. So I feel as though there could be this dynamic again, although this situation does appear to be relatively new, but I feel that there could be this back and forth dynamic of one trying to slightly pull away or pull back to brace themselves for the heartbreak that they expect to feel when you pull away. It's like they're expecting you to pull away or you to leave. So they might do this instead. And I see this happening in like slight ways back and forth that both people here are overthinking. But also, you speak to me through music is the second card to come out here. So you and this person may share music with one another. You might have similar music tastes, but also I see this person, it's like they can't listen to a song without somehow connecting it to you, without thinking about you. There's also something this person is trying to say about like just knowing you makes music sound different. Songs they may have heard their entire life, especially love songs, suddenly sound like brighter and clearer and warmer and just different than they've ever sounded before. It's like meeting you has shifted their perspective of how they see the world, everything about the world, even things that were familiar to them, like songs they've always listened to. It's causing them to see things in a new way. So very powerful connection coming through here. If you are interested in hearing more about this particular connection, be sure to subscribe to this channel, because when you subscribe, this does allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you moving into the future. Also, you can let me know in the comments if you do want any more information in future readings on this or on other subjects or connections in your life. I do hope you have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your day. Again, the link to my Twin Flame 7 chakra clearing is in the pinned comments and description under the video for those of you who are interested in exploring more about that. And I will talk to you again in the next reading.